Good morning everyone. Basa na muna ng Bible guys. Ruth 1 to 3, 4 and Luke chapter 8 verse 1 to 25. Dito muna tayo sa Luke. Women accompanied Jesus and the disciples. After this, Jesus traveled about from one town and village to another, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom of God. The 12 were with him, and also some women who had... Ang hirap. Tinaas ko na. Ang hirap nung nakayuko. Who had been cured of evil spirits and diseases. Mary called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had come out. Joanna, the wife of Cusa, the manager of Herod's household. Susanna, and many others. These women were helping to support him out of their own means. Jesus tells the parable of the 4 soils. While a large crowd was gathering and people were coming to Jesus from town after town, he told this parable. A farmer went out to sow his seed. Nabasa na natin rin to sa Matthew. Ba't pabalik-balik guys, no? As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path. It was trampled on, and the birds of the air ate it up. Some fell on the rock. Some fell on rock, and when it came up, the plants withered because they had no moisture. Others seed fell among thorns, which grew up with it and choked the plants. Still others seed fell on the good soil. It came up and yielded a crop 100 times more than was sown. When he said this, he called out, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." Jesus explains the parable of the 4 soils. His disciples asked him and what this parable meant. He said, "The knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of God has given to you, but to others I speak in parables, so that those seeing they may not see, though hearing they may not understand." This is the meaning of the parable. The seed is the word of God. Those along the path are the ones who hear, and then the devil comes and takes away the word from their heart, so that they may not believe and be saved. Those on the rock are the ones who receive the word with joy when they hear it, but they have no root. They believe for a while, but in the time of testing they fall away. The seed that fell among the thorns stands of those who hear, but as they go on their way, they are choked by life's worries, riches, and pleasures, and they do not mature. But the seed on good soil stands for those with a noble and good heart, who hear the word, retain it, and by persevering produce a crop. No one lights a lamp and hides it in a jar, or puts it under a bed. Instead, he puts it on a stand so that those who come in can see the light. For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Therefore, consider carefully how you listen. Whoever has will be given more, whoever does not have, even what he thinks he has will be taken from him. Jesus described his true family. Now Jesus' mother and brothers came to see him, but they were not able to get near him because of the crowd. Someone told him, "Your mother and brother are standing outside wanting to see you." He replied, "My mother and brothers are those who hear God's word and put it into practice." Jesus comes the storm. One day, Jesus said to his disciples, pero kasi itong, pag pag-iaan mo yung ancestors niya, nabasa ko na yung ancestor ni Jesus. Ano siya, doon siya sa, alam niyo yung 13 anak ni Israel, ni Jacob. Doon siya sa side ni Judah naka-align. So, yung Bible pang Israel lang talaga siya. No? Pang-angkan lang siya ni Israel. Kasi si Jesus, doon siya sa ni Judah eh. Si Israel, ay di ba si Judah, isa siya anak ni, di ba 13 yung anak ni Israel. So, si Judah isa doon. So, yun. So, naka-align siya kay doon nga kay Judah tsaka kay Noah. Tandaan niyo ba yung ancestor niya? Basta binilang ko 76 eh. Mga angkan hanggang mula kay Joseph hanggang doon kay Father God. Yan. Jesus comes this storm. One day, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's go over to the other side of the lake." Got into a boat and set out. As they sailed, he fell asleep. Ito, a squall came down on the lake so that the boat was being swamped, and they were in great danger. The disciples went and walked with him, saying, "Master, Master, we're going to drown." He got up and rebuked the wind and the raging waters. The storm subsided, and all was calm. "Where is your faith?" he asked his disciples. In fear and amazement they asked one another, "Who is this? He commands even the winds and the water, and they obey him." Jesus sends demons into a herd of pigs. Bakit ganun pabalik-balik? Nabasa na rin natin ito sa Matthew, guys. Kaya ko nga pa siguro ganito itong Bible kasi lahat na lang ng book binabalik, pabalik-balik. Alala niyo yung nasa Matthew chapter 8 tsaka Mark. Kaya nakalagay na dito. Ba't kasi binabalik-balik pa? Para marami na sanang mabasa ng iba. Jesus sends demons into a herd of pigs. Sa verse 26, guys. Ay, lagpas na tayo. Hanggang 25 lang eh. Bukas na yung chapter 8 verse 26. Bukas na yung pang April 5 na yun. So, lipat na tayo dito sa buti na lang umangal ako. Konti lagpas-lagpas na naman ang basa natin. Pabalik-balik na nga yung nakasulat sa book eh. Babalik-balikan pa natin. So, sayang oras. Dito tayo sa 1, 2, 3, 4 ng rows. 1, 2, haba nga. Okay. Kaya ba? Bilisan lang natin ang basa. Ruth remains loyal to Naomi and Ruth. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land, and a man from Bethlehem in Judah, together with his wife and 2 sons, went to live for a while in the country of Moab. The man's name was Elimelech, his wife named Naomi. And the names of his two sons were Mahlon and Chilion. They were Ephrathites from Bethlehem, Judah, and they went to Moab and lived there. Now Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her two sons. They married Moabite women, one named Orpah and the other Ruth. Also, yung anak niya, nagkaasawa ng mga Moabite. After they had lived there about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion also died, and Naomi was left without her two sons and her husband. So, balo na siya. When she heard in Moab that the Lord had come to the aid of his people by providing food of them, Naomi and her daughters-in-law prepared to return home from there with her and her daughters-in-law. So, dinala niya si Orpah at si Ruth. Naomi and her daughters-in-law prepared to return home from there. With her two daughters-in-law, she left the place where she had been living and set out on the road that would take them back to the land of Judah. Lahat silang tatlong babae biyuda na. Naunang namatay mga lalaki. Then Naomi said to her daughters-in-law, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show kindness to you as you have shown to your dead and to me. May the Lord grant that each of you will find rest in the home of another husband." Then she kissed them, and they wept aloud, and said to her, "We will go back with you to your people." But Naomi said, "Return home, my daughters. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband, even if I thought there was still hope for me. Even if I had a husband tonight and then give birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters, it is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has gone out against me." Sa verse 14, guys. At this they weep again. Then Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye. Painom nga muna. But Ruth clung to her. "Look," said Naomi, "your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her." But Ruth replied, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but this separates you and me." When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. So the two women went on until they came to Bethlehem. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was stirred because of them, and the women exclaimed, "Can this be Naomi? Don't call me Naomi. Don't call me Naomi," she told them. "Call me Mara." So, pinalitan yung pangalan niya ng Mara. "Because the Almighty has made my life very bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty." Oh. "Why call me Naomi? The Lord has afflicted me, the Almighty has brought misfortune upon me. So Naomi returned from Moab, accompanied by Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, arriving in Bethlehem as the barley harvest was beginning. So chapter 2 na tayo guys. Ruth gleans in Boaz's field. Ruth meets Boaz. Now Naomi had a relative on her husband's side from the clan of Elimelech, a man of standing whose name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, "Let me go to the fields and pick up the leftover grain behind anyone in whose eyes I find favor." Naomi said to her, "Go ahead, my daughter." So she went out and began to glean in the fields behind the harvesters. As it turned out, she found herself working in a field belonging to Boaz, who was from the clan of Elimelech. Just then Boaz arrived from Bethlehem and greeted the harvesters. "The Lord be with you." "The Lord bless you," they called back. Boaz asked the foreman of his harvesters, "Whose young woman is that?" The foreman replied, "She is the Moabitess who came back from Moab with Naomi." She said, "Please let me glean gather among the sheaves behind the harvesters." Yung minsan hirap ako magbasa talaga, hirap pa mag-pronounce. She went into the field and had worked steadily from morning till now, except for a short rest in the shelter. So Boaz said to Ruth, "My daughter, listen to me. Don't go and glean in another field, and don't go away from here. Stay here with my servant girls. Watch the field where the men are harvesting and follow along after the girls. I have told the men not to touch you, and whenever you are thirsty, go and get a drink from the water jars the men have filled." At this she bowed down with her face to the ground. She exclaimed, "Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?" Boaz replied, "I've been told all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and mother and your homeland and came to live with people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. May I continue to find favor in your eyes, my Lord," she said. "You have given me comfort and have spoken kindly to your servant, though I do not have the standing of one of your servant's girls." A time was said to her, "Come over here, have some bread and dip it in the wine vinegar." When she sat down with the harvesters, he offered her some roasted grain. She ate all she wanted and had some left over. As she got up to glean, Boaz gave orders to his men. "Even if she gathers among the sheaves, don't embarrass her. Rather pull out some stalks for her from the bundles and leave them for her to pick up, and don't provoke her." So Ruth gleaned in the field until evening. Then she threshed the barley she had gathered, and it mounted to about an ephah. Sa verse 18 tayo. Wait lang. Umaatake na may ilong ko. Sa verse 18 guys. She carried it back to town, and her mother-in-law saw how much she had gathered. Ruth also brought out and gave her what she had left over after she had eaten enough. Her mother-in-law asked her, "Where did you glean today? Where did you work? Blessed be the man who took notice of you." Then Ruth told her mother-in-law about the one at whose place she had been working. "The name of man I work with today is Boaz," she said. "The Lord bless him," Naomi said to her daughter-in-law. "He has not stopped showing his kindness to the living and the dead." She added, "That man is our close relative. He is one of our kinsmen redeemers." Then Ruth the Moabites, pero okay lang kasi sa side naman niya ng husband ni Noemi. Then Ruth the Moabite said, "He even said to me, 'Stay with my workers until they finish harvesting all my grain.'" Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, "It will be good for you, my daughter, to go with his girls, because in someone else's field you might be harmed." So Ruth stayed close to the servant girls of Boaz to glean until the barley and with harvest were finished, and she lived with her mother-in-law. Chapter 2 na tayo, guys. Ruth follows Naomi's plan. Ruth and Boaz at the threshing floor. One day, Naomi, her mother-in-law, said to her, my daughter, should I not try to find a home for you, where you will be well provided for? Is not Boaz, with whose servant girls you have been, is a kinsman of ours? Tonight he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash and perfume yourself and put on your best clothes. Then go down. Piyok na. Ang hirap na hindi maganda boses. Napipiyok. Pang ilang chapter na ba ito? Pang-apat na eh. Isa sa loob. Tapos dito pangatlo na. So, apat. Kaya sumusuko yung lalamunan na natin. Tonight, he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash and perfume yourself and put on your best clothes. Then go down to the threshing floor, but don't let him know you are there until he has finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, note the place where he is lying. Then go and uncover his feet and lie down. He will tell you what to do. I will do whatever you say, Ruth answered. So she went down to the threshing floor and did everything her mother-in-law told her to do. When Boaz had finished eating and drinking, was in good spirit, he went over to lie down at the far end of the grain pile. Ruth approached quietly and covered his feet and lay down. In the middle of the night something startled the man, and he turned and discovered the woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am your servant, Ruth," she said. "Spread a corner of your garment over me, since you are a kinsman redeemer." "The Lord bless you, my daughter," he replied. "The kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You have not run after the younger men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I will do for you all you asked. All my fellow townsmen know that you are a woman of noble character. Although it is true that I am near of kin, there is a kinsman redeemer nearer than I. Stay here for the night, and in the morning, if he wants to redeem good, let him redeem. But if he is not willing, as surely as the Lord lives, I will do it. Lie here until morning." So she lay at his feet until morning, but got up before anyone could be recognized, and he said, "Don't let it be known that a woman came to the threshing floor." He also said, "Bring me the shawl you are wearing and hold it out." When she did so, he poured into it 6 measures of barley and put it on her. Then he went back to the town. When Ruth came to her mother-in-law, Naomi asked, "How did it go, my daughter?" Then she told her everything Boaz had done for her, and added, "He gave me these 6 measures of barley, saying, 'Don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed.'" Then Naomi said, "Wait, my daughter, until you find out what happens, for the man will not rest until the matter is settled today." Chapter 4 ng Ruth. Ruth and Boaz are married. Boaz marries Ruth. Meanwhile, Boaz went up to the town gate and sat there. When the kinsman redeemer he had mentioned came along, Boaz said, "Come over here, my friend, and sit down." So he went over and sat down. Boaz took 10 of the elders of the town and said, "Sit here," and they did so. Then he said to the kinsman redeemer, Naomi, who has come back from Moab, is selling the piece of land that belonged to our brother Elimelech. I thought I should bring the matter to your attention and suggest that you buy it in the presence of the seated here and in the presence of the elders of my people. If you will redeem to do so, but if you will not tell me, so I will know. For no one has the right to do it except you, and I am next in line. I will redeem it, he said. Then Boaz said on the day, you buy the land from Naomi and from Ruth the Moabitess. You acquire the dead man's widow in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property. At this the kinsman redeemer said, Then I cannot redeem it, because I might endanger my own state. You redeem it yourself. I cannot do it. Sa verse 7, now in verse 7 ng chapter 4, now in earlier times in Israel, for the redemption and transfer of property to become final, one party took off his sandal and gave it to the other. This was the method of legalizing transactions in Israel. So the kinsman redeemer, wait lang. So the kinsman redeemer said to Boaz, buy it yourself, and he removed his sandal. Then Boaz announced to the elders and all the people, today you are witnesses that I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Kilion, and Mahlon. I have also acquired Ruth the Moabite's Mahlon's widow, as my wife. Oh, I have also acquired Ruth the Moabite's Mahlon's widow as my wife, in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property, so that his name will not disappear from among his family or from the town records. Today you are witnesses. Then the elders and all those the gate said, we are witnesses. May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah. Si Rachel tsaka si Leah, asawa to ni Jacob ni Israel. Then the elders, ulit guys sa verse 11. Kaya hindi ko ito makakalimutan si Rachel tsaka si Leah, kasi malaki paghihirap ni Israel dito sa dalawa. Mahal niya kasi dito si Rachel, tapos 7 taon siyang nagtrabaho sa biyanan niya. Kaya binigay si Leah. Kaya nakabisado ko istorya na yan yung dalawang character na yan. Then the elders and all those at the gate said, we are witnesses. May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the house of Israel. May you have standing in Ephrathah and be famous in Bethlehem. Through the offspring the Lord gives you by this young woman, may your family be like that of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah. The genealogy of David. So Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife. Then he went to her, and the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave birth to a son. The women said to Naomi, Praise be to God, praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a kinsman redeemer. May he become famous throughout Israel. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law who loves you and who is better to you than 7 sons has given him birth. Then Naomi took the child, laid him in her lap, and cared for him. The women living there said, Naomi has a son, and they named him Obed. He was the father of Jesse, the father of David. This then is the family line of Perez. Perez was the father of Hezron, Hezron the father of Ram, Ram the father of Amminadab, Amminadab the father of Nahshon, Nahshon the father of Salmon, Salmon the father of Boaz. Oh, so dito tayo kay Boaz, yung napangasawa ni Ruth. Ruth's second husband. Kasi ang una niyang husband si Malon, di ba? Si Malon ba? Kinakabisado talaga eh. Malon nga, Malon Swedo. Malon Swedo si Ruth. Pero si Boaz kasi is kamag-anak rin ni Elimelech, yung asawa ni Noemi. Boaz the father of Obed, Obed the father of Jesse, and Jesse the father of David. So, ang anak nila Ruth, tsaka ni Boaz si Obed. Uy, tapos na. Samuel na yung kasunod. Kaya pala na hanggang 4 lang pala ang chapter ng Ruth. So, bye everyone. God bless.